Today, our learning intention is to investigate order of operations and compare answers when solved in different ways. Now, order of operations is a sequence of steps in which operations should be performed in each problem. Okay, so I know you know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, but what happens when all those operations are in the same math problem? This is when we need to use order of operations. This acronym BOMDAS will help you remember the correct order of operations. There are 6 different operations that we'll be talking about this week. Okay, the first that you will always complete will be brackets. So whenever you see a problem, say 3 times 4 within brackets, you will solve that first. Then you move on to others. Now others are things like indices and integers, which we will talk about later in the week. The next is multiplication and division. As you can see here, they actually have the same value and are performed whichever comes first from left to right. Next is addition and subtraction. They both also have the same value and are performed whichever comes first from left to right. Our focus for the next 2 lessons will be to solve problems that have multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction using the order of operations. Later in the week, we will follow up on brackets and others. So let's have a look at a model example. Today, again, we're going to investigate how the order in which you calculate operations changes the answer. So let us have a look at how this problem is solved in 3 different ways and decide which is correct using BOMDAS. So the problem here we have is 4 plus 6 times 9 minus 2. Now we can see clearly that there are 3 different operations in this problem: addition, multiplication, and subtraction. If we have a look at the solutions down below, they have been solved different ways and each have a different answer. This is because they haven't been solved using BOMDAS. So when the order of operations is not followed, then this problem could be solved different ways and you could get the incorrect answer. So this is the reason that order of operations is really important when you have multiple operations in one problem. So let's have a look at the correct process for following order of operations, which is BOMDAS. Now, in this problem, we're firstly going to identify the operations. So I can clearly see that there's an addition, multiplication, and subtraction operation. If we remember BOMDAS, we know that multiplication and division comes first, and because there's only multiplication in this problem, we will solve that one. So the second step is we're actually going to go ahead and solve the multiplication problem. So 6 times 9 equals 54. Then, now that we've solved the multiplication problem, we can move on to addition and subtraction. In this problem, because addition actually comes before subtraction, because it's on the left, we solve that first. So 4 plus 54 equals 58. Then we move on to subtraction. So we take the 58 and minus it by 3, which equals 55. So the correct answer is actually 55. So if we reflect on what we just did in that problem, we started with our multiplication, okay? That always comes before you solve addition and subtraction. Then we moved on to our addition and subtraction, and remember, addition and subtraction are performed whichever comes first from left to right. So if our subtraction was in front of our addition, we would do the subtraction before then we did the addition sum. Let's have a go solving this problem here. I have a problem that I'm going to use BOMDAS, the order of operations, to help me solve. My problem here is 4 plus 12 divided by 3. Now, first step I need to do is identify what my operations are. So I know I have an addition sign and a division sign. So I know I'm going to have to divide 12 divided by 3, and I'm also going to have to add 4. Okay, so let's have a think of what we do first. Let's have a look down the side. We don't have brackets in this problem. We don't have any others. We don't have multiplication. We have division. We have addition, but we don't have subtraction. I know that division comes before addition, so that's what I'm going to have to do first. So I'm going to write that 4 is going to stay the same, plus, and I'm going to divide my 12 divided by 3. So let's do that. 12 divided by 3. I know that 3 goes into 12 evenly 4 times. So that will be my answer here. The next part of it I need to do is now add these together. So 4 plus 4 equals... Alright, let's solve another problem. Here we have 20 subtract 4 plus 2 multiply 2. Now let's have a look firstly at what operations I have. I have subtract, add, and multiply. So what we need to do is go through BOMDAS and see which one I need to do first. So I don't have brackets in this, and I don't have others. I do have multiplication, and I do have addition and subtraction. Okay, so first thing I need to do, I know multiplication and division are the same. I'm going to do my multiplication first. Okay, the next one I'm going to do is my subtract, because I know that addition and subtraction actually are the same value, and we just work left to right. So I'm going to do my subtract second and my addition third. So let's have a go doing that now. So I'm going to write our 20 minus 4 plus, because we know we're going to do our 2 multiplied by 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. Next, let's remember we are going to do our subtract. So 20 subtract 4 equals 16, and then I will need to add my last 4 here. So let's go ahead and do that. 16 plus 4 equals 20. So 20 is our answer to this problem here. Alright, so now it's your turn to do your independent practice questions. Remember, our focus today is remembering to sequence our steps when we are using order of operations and focusing on our multiplication and division and addition and subtraction.